Oh, hella beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we are back for another edition of Big Beard Business. Today we're hopping into the house of Commodity, a brand that I truly enjoy. And listen, man, if you know anything about me, then you know that I've really enjoyed this line, and I've been talking about them for years with Velvet, and then we got into Book, etc. If you know about that stuff, then you know that they went away for a while and they came back with something a little bit different. I really enjoyed what they are doing, so I want to make sure that I bring it to you. Now, full disclosure, these fragrances were sent to me about a month and a half ago, and here we are talking about them today. And I wanted to dive into them because I wanted to make sure that a lot of you out there understood and understand what's going on with this brand. Now, if you're not familiar with Commodity, then to me, they're really affordable niche fragrances. Fragrances is really all they do, and they do them in a really good way. As I mentioned, I was originally introduced to this line with Velvet, and I came across it within Sephora, and I was like, whoa, this is nice. And back then it was about $126 or so for the fragrance, and it was a fragrance that really embodied the notes of cardamom, and I just loved it, and it had to come home with me. But today I want to talk about the fragrance of Milk. Now, Milk, like all of their new fragrances, comes in 3 different variations. You have a personal, you have an expressive, and then you also have a bold, all right? And that's really something that I think a lot of people are asking about in terms of when to wear a fragrance, or if you have a certain career profession, you want to smell good, i.e. healthcare providers that say, hey, B, I work in XYZ field, I do XYZ, I need a fragrance that I can wear that's not going to, interrupt people, not going to really mess with my patients, etc. And I think that's where the personal fragrances come in, and I think that's really self-explanatory. Those are going to be fragrances that are not in your face. They sit closer to the skin, and really it's listed as fragrances that are made to enjoy for those who you allow to be close to you. And I think you can really win with fragrances that way. And then you have the expressive, and then expressive is like a traditional fragrance. You're going to have that nice blend between a close encounter fragrance as well as a bold fragrance. So those fragrances are going to be those ones that are really just that perfect blend of when you are looking for attention, but not too much attention. You're not really trying to cause it to yourself, but if you smell me, then I'll accept the compliment. But finally, you have the bold, which is the more aggressive, more in your face feel. And when I say aggressive, it's not meaning that the fragrance are aggressive. It's that it's boom, 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 reaching out and touching, looking for those compliments to roll in. And today specifically, we're going to talk about Milk and determine if these fragrances are going to help you in the compliment field. So let's hop into it. And first up, we have Milk Minus. Now, Milk Minus is that personal fragrance, that one that's going to be accepted for those people who you allow to be close to you. And if you're looking to determine, hey, what am I having? What fragrance do I have in hand? The white bottle is going to be the personal. And then you have the black and white bottle. That's going to be the expressive. And then you'll have that black and rose gold, which is going to be that bold scent. Now, for me, Milk is an interesting scent. So when you think of Milk, for me, I think of creamy, I think of smooth, right? And in terms of fragrance, you're going to think of lactonic. They're not extracting milk from a cow here, okay? That looked kind of weird. They're not pulling milk from a cow here. Essentially, what Milk is in fragrances are going to be a combination of notes or chords that really make a milk feel, okay? Hopefully that wasn't too difficult to understand. And in fact, when I think of these fragrances, are they truly milky? Now, when I get the personal fragrances, I can tell you majority of the notes within Milk Minus are centered around woody notes. And when I look at the other fragrances, the expressive and the bold, or just the Milk and the Milk Plus, they have different variations of the notes, right? So the fragrance composition is a little bit different, and they're going to smell slightly different as well. So I'll tell you about this one here, which is Milk Minus. Now, Milk Minus has mahogany wood in the base, amber and white cedar wood in the mid, and cashmere and skin musk in the top of the scent. So you get wood, wood, and wood. And what I'll tell you, when I first spray this fragrance, it comes off as something I find to be elegant. It's smooth and enjoyable. Again, it's not very powerful, but it begins to obviously settle extremely quickly. Now, this one is not supposed to be bold or expressive and in your face. This one is supposed to be more refined and laid back, and that's what I get with this scent. But with this one, although it starts off kind of smooth, I get more of a woody feel. And in between the opening of this fragrance and the dry down, I get something that is almost Molecule 01-esque in terms of its feel, but it smells good. Now, there's also some tonka within Milk Minus, and it helps add that warm, cozy feel to the scent. And it also has a subtle sweetness to it. This is a fragrance that I would wear fresh out of the shower. It's a fragrance that I would wear, again, if I'm going to be in close quarters and really not trying to offend anyone with the fragrance, although I don't find the entire lineup of Milk to be offensive at all. This is just a truly enjoyable scent. If you're around someone who says they have a fragrance allergy, that one could be a good one to wear, but I really like that scent. Again, it starts off kind of fresh, smooth, almost velvety, but very light. That's one that I would recommend I would wear. Again, for me, that would be a fresh out of the shower, heading into the bed for a fragrance to wear without being too powerful, right? That's a scent that I would wear. Now, if we get into the Milk version or the Expressive version, this one is more like the original that we saw years ago. Now, the Expressive version of Milk also has mahogany in the base. In the mid here, there's going to be that tonka. Now, the tonka wasn't listed on the personal, right, on the minus. That wasn't listed there, but it can be detected and it is there. But I do smell it within just the Expressive version, the original, right? It is there, it's listed as one of the main notes, so it is obviously more alive and present within this scent. There's also a marshmallow within the mid here, and then in the top, you get this cold milk, and then you also get that skin musk carryover as well. Now, what I'll say here is that this one is more milky for sure than the minus version. In fact, I find that this one is a lot more velvety, a lot smoother, and it also has a cooling feel to it that I like. All right, it's a lot cooler than the minus version in the top, so that's enjoyable to me. It's more sweet as well. Again, you have that marshmallow right in the mid here, then you also get that tonka there, so it provides some warmth and sweetness that is really, really enjoyable. And you think of that creaminess that comes in with that milk, right? You get that creaminess in that marshmallow, and then you dry down into this mahogany or this woody vibe. Again, this one isn't the boldest, more aggressive in your face version. This is more of that refined, elegant approach that can be that perfect combination between compliments and that personal space. Now, just peeling back the layer here, as I mentioned with the minus, I would wear that one to sleep, right? But I think the average person would probably wear that one out. That would be a daytime scent or just a day fragrance at work, depending on what you do. Commodity Milk, the Expressive version, for me would also be more of a daytime fragrance, but again, that one could transition into the nighttime. But I think the plus, the Milk Plus, would be that fragrance that is going to be the ultimate night scent from this line. In terms of your note breakdown for that plus, which is going to be that more bold fragrance, that boom, in your face compliment factor, attention grabbing scent, you get some skin musk here, and you also get some cashmere woods in the top. In the mid here, you get a carryover of that tonka and that marshmallow, but then in the base, things switch up a bit. As in the others, we saw that we had that mahogany in the base, but things are a little bit different here as you begin to get some amber and some firewood in the base. To me, Milk Plus, it's warm, it's smoky, it's cozy, it's sweet, and I think this is the one, again, for that compliment factor, that ultimate date night from Milk. Now, in my personal opinion, as you go from the minus to the Expressive to the bold, it gets more complex. Now, I get less of that woody feel in the bold than I do in personal, right? right? That -1 opens up a little bright and creamy, but it immediately feels woody to me. All right, as I go into that mid, I begin to get things that are a little bit cozy, a little sweetness, begin to add a little more complexity to the scent, and then I get the most complexity within the fragrance in the Milk Plus version. Personally, I think what they do with fragrances when you're adding that niche mindset to fragrances and that luxury feel at an extremely affordable price point makes things easy. But even more easier than that, if you're looking to dive into these fragrances, they offer an amazing discovery set, and you can also utilize my code for a full bottle, discovery sets, etc. I'll have that linked and listed down below for you. If you're hopping into getting prepared for that spring, you also may want to look at paper. But I think this fragrance house is cool. I like what they're doing and what their thought process is when they are creating these fragrances. If you tried the House of Commodity, comment that down below, because I'm sure people out there would love to know the comment section where things get busy. All right, that's all I have for you guys and girls out there today. Be sure to try out the House of Commodity. Be sure to look into their scent space, which you get the minus, the expressive, and the plus. All right, as always, I'm your boy, Big Beard B. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend that we are back again. And you already know what I need you to do. Just hit the goddamn bell.